And good Friday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we begin another day. The weekend is here. In downtown Meridian, we've got 52. It could be a little cooler where you are. Be a little foggy possibly this morning as we wait for a high of, about 84. Sunshine will eventually peek through, and it'll be nice weather for us today. We've got a lot to cover this morning as we look at what all has gone on in the city of Meridian over the last, 24 hours? Somewhere right around there. 2 deaths, lots of shootings, and we all fear that there will be more. Will there be? Most likely. We'll talk about that coming up in a moment. We can't guess where things are going to happen, but as they say, the writing is on the wall for more crime to happen. Let's just hope that everyone is prepared for what lies ahead of us. As before we get into all of that, let's take a tender moment. Is that the way to word this? Something that takes us away for a moment. I want to say thank you to Lita Pearson. She sent in a great sunset picture last night of Chunky. Did I show this to you yet? Let me blow this up where everybody can see it. Gorgeous picture here of Chunky as the sun is going down yesterday. Doesn't that look great? We can get that a little bigger. No, I can't. That's as big as she gets there. That's Chunky. What was going on there yesterday. Also got one from Hickory. Let me go find that. Gorgeous. I always like to see the sun come up and the sun go down. Makes you feel good, or at least it does me. Here it is. I want to say a thank you to Bubba Eeks, who sent this in. This was Chunky as the sun was setting, as we pull that up where you can take a look there. It's beautiful, isn't it? It takes our minds away from all the troubles of the world. Let's hope it stays that way. We can only hope, can't we? Well, let's get into things. We'll talk about weather in a moment. There is going to be some severe weather way away from us. Oklahoma, if you've got friends and family between there and Kansas, we'll show you where tornado activity will happen across the nation. If you've got neighbors that live there, just give them a heads up of what's going to be coming this weekend. I want to remind you that 22nd Avenue, this will cause a little issue if you're trying to leave downtown today. The 22nd Avenue Bridge, the southbound lane, will be closed beginning at 10 o'clock until roughly 3 o'clock. 10:15 to 2:30 is the guesstimation on that. Now, you can still get into downtown Meridian over the bridge, but you won't be able to leave from downtown. You have to use an alternative route. If you've seen that over the last few days, they've been working along that edge there. From my understanding, that's going to be one way out of downtown, and they're making like a walking path. I understand that correctly. But they'll be working on that today, and it will cause a slight issue there as you're trying to get up. What happened overnight after the shooting last night at around 10 o'clock, there were a couple of, one more shots fired that I know about. And let's zoom in on radar. Let me just show you where that went on last night as we go to this. No one was hurt that I'm aware of on this. As we zoom in on this, this is the area here. This is going to be the 22nd Avenue area here. Here's the police station in here. Right back in here, here's Magnolia Beverage. Right along here, 27th Avenue and A Street. Shots were reported in this area by people that lived in the neighborhood. Now, again, it was late. It was dark, but the best we know, no damage or anyone was hurt in that area. A gray pickup truck was seen scrambling from the scene. So yet again, we're pretty sure it was another drive-by of some sort of somebody hanging out the window or something to that nature with shots fired. Again, if you live in that area, if you've got a business, check everything this morning as daylight comes about. And again, that's not all that far from 22nd Avenue, just a few blocks to the, that would be to the west, wouldn't it? If you're standing on 22nd Avenue, as we pull that back up, and look out to our west, that's where that would be. So that's something to think of. Now, as I bring up all of this, yesterday morning, as we got up, I reported that one person was shot. Wasn't bad. They refused to go to the hospital. Do y'all remember us talking about that? Let's pull this back up. This was from Sam Media, and we pull this up. This is where the shooting was. Let's zoom in on this. This was at 45th Avenue and 8th Street. Here's the U.S. Post Office there. Here's Riley Auto Parts. This is where the shooting happened. I think Mr. Discount Drugs is sitting here on that corner. They were stopped here. They had some type of wound. It wasn't bad enough to go to the hospital. They refused to go. That was the beginning of what began yesterday. Now, again, that one wasn't serious, but he refused to tell police absolutely anything. By late afternoon, things would change. We would get the call that shots were fired Highway 19, and that confused a lot of people because this road is called so many different things. Let's pull this up. This is Highway 11, Highway 19, off in the distance here. As you can see, that's the overpass. Right out there is I-20. This is known officially as Highway 19 if you go toward College Park. A lot of people call that Airport Boulevard. Some people call it Highway 11. Now, officially on an address nowadays, it's referred to as Highway 19. But right here at this location, 2 people would die. They would be rushed to a hospital and would later die of their wounds that they were there. One was inside a car, one was outside a car, from the best of my understanding. Numerous shots were fired over and over. Now, as we look at this, the video I've got from the scene, and I had reports that they ran up toward Cooper Circle. This is a street behind there. Schools were put on lockdown. And again, as I said yesterday when we done the update, there was absolutely at no time anyone near a school. That message got out. I'm not running anybody down. Things in the heat of the moment can be said wrong. That happens, but at no time was there a school in any danger. Again, this video is kind of rough. This is the scene of the police on the scene. It wasn't the best reception that was given to me from that area, but this is a scene with the Meridian Police Department all over the place as they zoomed in with this. And an ambulance would arrive and take the 2 gentlemen to the hospital. They would not make it. Names have not been officially released. I can tell you one was 17, one was 18. That's mighty young, isn't it? Right here in Meridian, Mississippi. Broad daylight. Right in the middle of daytime. Now, let's back up. This area is starting to get bad, isn't it? You will remember we showed you the video of the shooting that happened, and we talked about that when we done the live yesterday afternoon. Right up from there, Aguilera Tire, Trucksmart Bank, where shots were fired across the street, could have hit oncoming traffic, anyone passing by with a small child, a grandmother, your wife. Could have shot out all the windows out of Aguilera Tire Center. No one ended up being hurt on that, but it was very close to someone being seriously injured on that. I have no doubt on that. If you go back and look that up on my page, you'll see that. That was a dangerous situation. Now, as this happened, last night, I was getting ready to shut it all down. I'd cleaned up the computer, getting ready for today, as I always do. Shots were fired once again. Let's pull this up where you can see. Now, when I originally put this out, I put it as shots fired because it was very hard to determine what exactly had happened. Here's First Street. Meridian Cycles sits here. A car hung a left coming from this area here. Turns onto First Street as Meridian Cycles sits there. The car was shot at. I know there was 2 cars involved. One car did receive bullet hits. The second car would wreck. It would have a small child in the car. The child was not hurt. It shook him up pretty bad there. Is this all tied together? Absolutely. Do we know the exact tie-in? No, but it is all tied in. Now, we will get pictures later this morning from Meridian Cycles. The building was hit with the car. As it turned in, it was shot at. Somehow or another, it missed it. But as it slammed into the building there at Meridian Cycles, there's bullet holes all around the car where it hit the building where it was being shot at. Where I don't know all the details, we're waiting on police to fill in the blanks for us on this. The 2 cars that involved, were they shooting at each other? That's a possibility, a strong possibility. We lean toward that. Whoever did the shooting would run. Police pursued. The last I'd heard, there were no arrests on that. We'll find out more again about this. Hopefully we'll know a little bit more by 8 a.m. when we do our next show there of who, what, when, and how. Now, with all this being said, you would think that our elected officials would hold a press conference. I would have thought within an hour or so of 2 people murdered in our town, elected officials, and we're talking city council that goes all the way to the mayor's office. You need somebody to tell you something. You're an elected official. If you're watching, you're on the city council, say something. Your district depends upon you. Why? Because it's dangerous. Now, I keep getting told this. Now, if you look at this, let me see if I can just find one that I've got live here. Let's just pull this back up. where you can see this. This is, as we all know, we've had numerous shots back here behind the hospitals. Remember, that's where the 3 people were murdered up in this area. We constantly have gunfire all in this area here. Here's Highland Park, all of this area. We're having extremely, if you look at the map here, a lot of areas right here. Now, keep in mind, here's downtown Meridian. There's gunfire constantly here. There's gunfire right in here. I have seen a bunch over here in this area, right along in here, right in through there. We'll give it that. I may have went a little bit too far south. We all know that there's constant, as you go up Highway 39, this area right in here, constant gunfire in there. Front Street, there's gunfire in here. Now, I don't have the updated map in front of me, but I do have a map that has all of these, each gunfire that's been reported on a map. And I'm going to get that out next week. I want to make sure that it's up to date before I show that. But here's the downtown area as you look at this, right along in here. And I keep getting told by everybody, well, that's way off. You don't have anything to worry about in downtown. Oh, it's way off. I don't believe that. As you look at this, it's widespread, and it keeps coming in. Sure, nothing's happened there yet, but it has all the earmarks of things going on. And what I say by all this, I get a lot of messages throughout town. People are worried. They want to hear from their elected officials. It doesn't matter your skin color, white, black, if you're Spanish. We're all citizens of Meridian. We're all nervous. Everyone. People here support the police. They want something done. We all have seen a big change with the way the city is going since that last election. Wouldn't you agree? As leadership was changed, it's really gotten bad. I think we all agree upon that. Criminals roam the streets like they own it. We got to be, instead of waiting for it to happen, get them. Where's this all going? I don't have the answers on that. But I say all this of people, all of this is tied in, these last 3 shootings. Is there gangs in Meridian? Sure. For years, you wouldn't hear that term said in Meridian, would you? You wouldn't. It was, no, we don't have gangs. Well, we do. They're roaming the streets. They're doing basically what they want. Now it's in broad daylight. Used to, most of your shootings would be done at night, a drive-by. Look at this. It's during daytime. Eventually, what is going to happen, and you know as well as I do, so far, was yesterday a targeted assassination? Absolutely. That they knew who they were going to shoot, when they were going to shoot. There's, from what I understand, possibly some video to back all of this up. I haven't seen it. I don't have it. Hopefully that will be released at some point. But this is targeted. They know who they're after. But eventually, that person that they're after is going to be in a public place. The people that do these shootings don't care about you. They don't care about me. They have an agenda to take out who they want. They will do this in a public place eventually. Innocent people will be hurt. We've got to stop it. Again, I send this message to the city council. I send it to the mayor's office. Step up. We want to hear from you. Is anybody else with me on this? I remember, you take that thought of, well, nothing's going to happen in our downtown area. Nothing's going to happen at a big box store. Nothing could happen there. Well, I remember, some years ago when I was in my early years of radio, where we used to hold every festival there was held at Highland Park. You could walk, you could ride your bike. Now the people that live in those areas are in fear that they'll get shot. It's constant gunfire. Would I go for a stroll there now? Absolutely not. I don't think I'm the only one that feels that way. Do people still go there? Sure they do. Do you think they're a little nervous? Yeah, I think so. With all that being said, we just got to put a stop to this. We'll update you as this stuff develops and comes along. I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. In some cases, I'm just one of the first to tell you what's really happening. Others don't want you to know, or for whatever reason, we're going to tell you what we know. Just sad cases of this. That's where we are on all of that. As we look around, there was an accident yesterday. We'll shift gears here and talk about a few other things. Denise says war zone areas, and I agree with you. Pamela, I love Meridian, but I'm afraid to come over there. Yeah. Somebody asked me, do I remember the shots that were fired a few months back by the 22nd Avenue Bridge just down from Weidman's? Yes, I absolutely do. I got jumped on about that I was saying that Meridian was getting shot at in downtown Meridian. Well, it did happen. What happened was there were people on a balcony. Somebody robbed a car, broke into a car, ran back, that would be south, wouldn't it, toward the 22nd Avenue Bridge. At the base of the bridge, shot up into the air. Didn't shoot at the people that were outside, but I would still consider that downtown. I got yelled at for putting a headline one morning, "Murder in Meridian." I used a skyline. Constant text by people that owned a business that were upset that I said that there was a murder in Meridian. Well, they didn't own it. They actually worked for somebody. It happened. A child had died. Do you remember the 5-year-old that was murdered? Asleep in the house, a drive-by shooting. I brought that up and I got yelled at. So be mad at me or not, the truth is the truth in Meridian. We need to stop the crime. And again, this goes everywhere, no matter where you live. You want to feel safe. You want to be able to walk down the street with your child. You want to hold hands with your grandchild. Go to the parks. This is a beautiful area. We want to feel safe. And I urge you with this, if you see something, report it. It's the only way the police can catch them. We got to have evidence. You got to draw a line. Is it scary? Sometimes it absolutely is. People that witness things and you take instance. And again, this is live. As it's coming out, what's going through my head. You take the gentleman where all this started yesterday that would not tell police anything when they arrived, who had been shot. Didn't tell because of fear. If they tell a name, then, well, they're salt. If you give someone up, that's what happens in these towns. We've talked about, and I've talked to several of the elders in the town where I don't know a lot about gangs. I really don't. But as they tell me, they really go after people that are young in school. As the older they get, the more pressure they put on these children to become part of a gang. If you don't join the gang, we beat you up or we go beat up your family. That's how they get people in the gang, fear. Because really the concept of why would you join a gang? Well, it gets deeper than that. Again, they go after family members of them, tell them they're going to hurt their siblings, their grandparents if they don't do something, things of that nature. And that's how they incorporate people to do what they want. Starts in the home, without a doubt. There's a lot can be said. But that's where we are on shootings and things. Now, we did have an accident yesterday. As I said, we'll switch some gears here. We're going to go deeper into this morning at 8 a.m. I hope you'll join me. Candace will come in. We're going to look at some more maps. Where's old Chris Reed when I need him to give me some statistics? As we see this was an accident yesterday. This is by Dairy Queen over by BMW. BMW right here to the right is, you'll look at this. This was a fender bender that happened there. Sometimes that's a easy place to happen there, trying to get in and out of there when traffic is busy. No serious injuries reported with that, but pretty big little fender bender there, wasn't it? There it was right there. That was one of the things that happened yesterday. Let's see what else we've got that went on. We did have a truck fire. Did y'all hear about this? We posted it. You may have been busy. Highway 19, Highway 494, as we pull this up, let me show you here. A truck. I had to use a car because I was in a hurry. But as we look at the video of this, as you'll see it coming up here, this was a rollback truck, absolutely burned to the ground. I think I've got another angle of this. As you'll see, it's a lot of smoke in there. And we do appreciate the videos of people sending this in. As you look at this, that's huge. It burned to the ground as they finally got that extinguished. Flatbed truck, gone. Now, what causes all that, we don't know. But feel for those that lost it. As we look at Union, Mississippi, we got any folks from Union this morning? The Union Police Department is needing your help to identify someone. They've posted this on their Facebook page. This gentleman right here, if you know him, contact him. You can call him at 774-9211. As they said, they'll keep it simple. They won't tell who you are. If you recognize that gentleman, they don't say why. They won't even have to have a chance to speak to you this morning. Well, that's, if you recognize them, they'd like to talk to you. We go to Philadelphia next. I know we have a lot of people that watch, work, drive back and forth from Philadelphia. There's both ways that happen. That we had a robbery. I spoke to the police chief Eric Lyons yesterday afternoon, right before the shooting happened. As we pull this up, there was a robbery at the Mexican restaurant. Maybe the word is brandish. He showed a gun. He walked in, robbed him. Read all about it here. Right around 6 p.m. the night before last, he walked into the restaurant, pulled out a gun. He ran on foot from there. He got roughly somewhere around $500 cash out of the register. No one was hurt, thank goodness. Crime is everywhere. Whether you live in Meridian, you live in Union, you live in Jackson, Mississippi, if you're watching me from the coast, it is. The average Joe has got to do something about it. As we go to a lighter subject, and it's always good to see kids. This kicked off last night. Clarkdale, they need your support if you can make it out for that. They're presenting the 12 Angry Jurors. I've seen a couple of videos already this morning from Clarkdale as they put this on. This will return tonight at 6 p.m. and also tomorrow night at 6 p.m. I hope you can make it out. It'll be in the gym there. If you'd like to know more about it, you can visit right there and order your tickets there. Cost is $10 for adults, $5 for kids. Go see your babies. They won't be babies forever, and you'll remember that forever there. Let's see. Kids Fishing Rodeo this weekend. Always good to do this. This will be for ages 5 to 17. As we look at this, the Fishing Rodeo will be tomorrow morning at QB Sykes Park. Hope you make it out for that. It begins at 8 a.m. and it will last until 10 a.m. Come by and see that. Open to the public there. Again, and then for everybody else to fish, that opens back up at, I believe, 11 o'clock is how that do it. Yeah. They'll give away prizes for fish, so hope you can make it out there. Kids will enjoy that. And we've got a lot of other stories that have gone on around the state. One thing that we're going to cover this morning is this is awful. Anybody know the word Carl? What am I talking about? Carl the chicken. He was a big fan. Everybody knew him there in Ocean Springs. He walked the streets. He was kind of the unofficial mascot of Ocean Springs. Well, Carl has been murdered. He has. Kendra Schaefer, a corrections officer in Jones County, was charged with a misdemeanor in animal cruelty. She's lost her job. She worked in Jones County. We'll talk about more about this. Poor Carl. They've got video of it. I think Carl, it was bad. We'll talk more about that this morning coming up at 8. I hope you'll join us and come back for that. And a few other things going around the state and Vicksburg and all the different areas. We've got to look at your forecast next. Stay close. We'll play that for you here in a moment and tell you all about what's coming up. So stay with us. We'll be right back here in just a moment. As the days get hotter, Sanders Gas reminds you to get your air conditioner tuned up. Sanders Gas can repair or replace your whole unit, whichever you need. Talk to Sanders about a tankless water heater now and never run out of hot water. Find out how easy and affordable it is to cook on gas stoves. And those backyard barbecues are coming. Don't run out of gas. Get yours refilled today. Sanders Gas, since 1946, 611 26th Avenue South, 601-693-4054. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rockhouse will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. 52 in Meridian as we wait for that high of 84. As I mentioned a little bit ago when we started the broadcast about what the weather is going to be doing today, make sure if you've got friends and neighbors that live to the northwest of Mississippi, you've got anybody that lives around the Oklahoma City area, all the way up here to Omaha, Lincoln, Nebraska. Look at that. That is the area where tornadic activity can occur today. That's a level 3 in that area there, just west of downtown Kansas City. We'll watch that for them, as there will be a lot of storm chasers out there. Norman, Oklahoma, all north of there. So we look at Mississippi, not so bad. Let's turn this off so you can see what we've got going on. We do have some fog starting to pop up here in the Gulf Coast area over to Mobile. That's the heaviest we've got. Now, in our area, we do say that there is a small chance of it this morning in these areas, in low-lying areas, patchy fog. Nothing serious showing on radar at this moment. So that's the good news. So let's get deeper into the forecast now and just see what the National Weather Service has for us today.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Our record highs, record lows, 1970. Who remembers that? A little over 50 years ago. It was 91 degrees on this date. Back in 92, we had a record low of, 39 degrees. Woo, chilly morning there. We're a little bit above that today. As we look to what the weather would do today, 84. Slight chance of a shower. We'll tell you more about that in a moment there. As we look to Alabama there, 85. Demopolis, we'll get to 85 in Tuscaloosa as well. 84 there in Fayetteville. And over in Troy, 83 there. Even in Canton, it looks to be about 82 there. Birmingham, 84. Warmer weather still staying with us as we look at the map of what's forecasted over the next 6 to 10 days. So this is not leaving us. Only up in the northern parts of the United States is it a little cooler. Here's our forecast and what we're going to expect today with the forecast. As we do the breakdown of this, 84 today. There is that mention of a 20% chance of a shower. It would be after 1 o'clock late in the afternoon. Otherwise, mostly sunny today, but gusty. 20-mile-an-hour gust is what we're going to have, so it'll dry out your clothes on the clothesline, so to speak. As the weekend begins, 85, a great-looking day there. 20% chance, again, of an afternoon shower after 1 o'clock tomorrow as well. Our big rain chance comes in on Sunday. As the National Weather Service tells us, as well as my radar system, we've got 50% chance of rain on Sunday. Most likely in the afternoon. We'll watch that should Mother Nature speed up or slow down. As we go back to work on Monday, we'll see that these rain chances are kind of hanging around. They're not huge, but they're there. Monday, a 30% chance. Tuesday, 40. Still in the forecast all the way to Friday. Look at those highs. Bumping 90, 89, all through there. Nighttime lows all next week are in the 60s. So we see these temperatures warming up, don't we? All right, let's look and see what we've got for another few weeks. Let's go all the way to May 13th. By the way, Sunday's going to be May. Can you believe that? As we look at this, next Friday, a week from today, 83, still in those 80s, and we'll get back to about the 11th there, warming up 87, 88. Getting near mid-month and headed toward June at that point. It's going to be warm. As we look at the best fishing times today, here's what we got. If you're going to be hitting the water today, perfect right now. All the way through 7. You've got another chance after lunch. Let's call it, say, 12:30 to roughly 3 o'clock. Great time to hit the water and fish. What's the wind doing today? Light southeast wind becoming south-southeast 10 to 15. Winds could gust again to 20 miles an hour. So it's going to be a gusty day as we come about this. So, again, it'll dry out that little bit of water that we got left in the yards. We've got a big show coming up. We'll dig deeper into what's happening in and around the area at 8 o'clock. One of the big things that's going on, baby formula. We posted that last night. It's a shortage. We're going to talk about just how bad is that. I was in a store the other day, and I had somebody call me, and they said, look, please look for me. Wasn't there. Shelves were empty. We need manufacturing in America, don't we? Oof. But anyway, we'll get into all of that. A lot of you mothers that search this stuff, tell us where the best places are to do that. We'll do all this beginning at 8 a.m. Don't miss any of it. We'll also be live on television beginning at 8 o'clock on MeTV. You can pick that up on 248 Comcast. You can pick it up on your antenna at 24.3. And another thing that you can always do is go to YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow. Got to do all of that. You throw this up on your TV and watch us through your iPad or your phone. Connect it to your television if you've got a smart TV, if you want a bigger picture. That's one way of doing it. Or you can do it right from your phone. Any way you like, just so long as you're here, that's all that matters. Again, thank you for joining me. We'll have more coming up in just a little while as we kick this gorgeous Friday morning off just for y'all. We'll see you soon at the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: